What's going on, guys? I was just recently sitting around thinking about something, and I thought it'd be a good idea to make a video about what I recommend that you guys read. Now, a lot of the books I read are related to tactics and anything sort of geared towards the military, but that doesn't mean that it just applies to guys in the military. Now, the books and the reading material I'm going to recommend do have a lot to do with the military, but also can cross over to the civilian sector as well. So I'm going to go down a list of books I recommend, and hopefully you'll check them out and at least see if you're interested in what they have to say. Now they're not all military books. Okay, so let's get right into it. First thing, let me just tell you about two companies that make really good books. One company is called the Paladin Press. The other company is called Lightning Press. And I'm going to include those links in the description of this video. You have to be a little bit careful with Paladin Press because they make some really, how do I put this? They have a tendency to make some questionable books. Kind of far out there and kind of crazy about things like how to make bombs and stuff like that. So you have to be selective when you're picking out books from that particular company. Okay, the most important book I think I've had over the last few years is called The Leader's SMARTBOOK. Now, it comes from the Lightning Press, like I just mentioned. And in this book, it talks about training, management, leadership. Let's see. It talks about mission essential task list planning, how the Army trains, leader books, platoon meetings, preparing for training, assessment, training exercises. So all this stuff in this book can easily be translated into a civilian occupation or a civilian job. What I mean is you can apply these principles to your civilian job and, in fact, your civilian lifestyle. So, great book. That's the first book. The second book is called The Battle Staff. Now, this is taken from FM 5, 6, and 1-02. When I say FM, I mean Field Manual, or it stands for Field Manual. If I use any acronyms, I'll try to break them down and tell you what they mean. Now, this is a doctrinal guide to military decision-making and tactical operations. Very good. This is a very good manual as well. And in here, it talks about the fundamental planning concepts, joint planning, COA development, courses of action, orders production, task organization, and the list goes on and on. Again, this is a great manual both for the military and the guys that are not in the military, guys and ladies. Okay, last with the military themed books would be, this is FM 3.0. This is operations. Actually, this is not the FM. It's a lot of the stuff taken from the FM and put into this book. FM 3.0 is actually entitled Full Spectrum Operations and the Battlefield Operating Systems. So in this book, it talks about unified action, the Army and the role of land power, fundamentals of full spectrum operations, support operations, information operations. Very good book. Now, additionally, one thing I forgot to mention, or one book I recommend everyone have, if you're into tactics and leadership at all, would be the Ranger Handbook. If I were you, I would stay away from the special operations type manuals because they're a little bit harder to understand if you're not from that specific community, if you haven't been Delta Force or anything like that. A Ranger Handbook can apply to your basic line infantry soldier. So pick that up if you get a chance. Now, the other books I'm going to talk about are on my device here. By the way, guys, this is a Nook by Barnes & Noble. I have digital copies of a lot of my books on this device. I think it cost me $149. The new one I think is actually $249. Okay, let me get to my library here. Okay, the third book or actually the fourth book I recommend would be The Art of War. And I'm not going to name the author because I'll mispronounce his name, but I'll spell it. First name is Sun, S-U-N. Last name is T-Z-U. It's a very good book. And some of the principles in that book are what we do today. You know, it was written years ago, hundreds of years ago. The next one will be 100 Ways to Motivate Yourself by Steve Chandler. Again, I'm going to include these books in the description. The next one is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Very good book. And those two last books, The Motivation and As a Man Thinketh, those are very good for just working on yourself and finding motivation and working on the way you think about different things. And I think that, let me go to the next page. Yeah, for right now, guys, that's it. I recommend you check out those books that I talked about. I think there was one more. Give me 1 second. Yeah, this is the last one. It's called Razor Sharp Leadership. By the way, guys, I'm giving this away. If you have not signed up for my contest, I'll include the link to that video in the description as well. I'm giving this book away. This is a great book right here on leadership. So make sure you check that book out. As you can see, guys, I am a big proponent of leadership principles, and I try to live my life based on a set of guidelines and ethics and integrity and things like that. If you get a chance, please check out the books. Again, that is Paladin Press, Lightning Press. If you guys got any questions about anything or any of the books I talked about, let me know. We'll talk to you later.